Today, on Be Something Wonderful, don't give your power away to 3D conditions ever again. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Big video today. This topic comes up a lot. This idea that my friends and family think I'm in denial and being delusional. This came right from one of my clients yesterday. Again, and I've talked about this before with other clients. We've talked about it on the channel. We've responded to comments. I really want to hit this. Here's the thing. You're only in denial and being delusional if you're denying appearances, ignoring 3D conditions, while inwardly and secretly still believing in the reality of those unwanted and undesired conditions and events. Then you're in denial, then you're being delusional. And that puts them there, that creates them, that perpetuates the undesired reality. You're putting them there by denying them, ignoring them, and still believing in them. So I want to hit this idea, what does all the spiritual greats mean when they said ignore 3D conditions or deny appearances? I want to go over what that really means, right? Remember, it's not about denying or ignoring anything, really. What's it about? It's about recognizing the true nature of all temporary forms and appearances. The true nature, the substance, the life behind it. The I am awareness behind all appearances. That's really what the spiritual greats meant by being positive or true positivity. It's about the degree, that your degree of positivity is the degree that you're aware of your true nature as I am awareness. And to the degree that you're aware that all appearances, all temporary inner conditions of thoughts and feelings, and all temporary outer conditions of people, events, and circumstances are changing forms, and the true substance behind them is I am awareness. That's what true positivity means. And what negativity means, the idea of negativity is the opposite, is you believe more in those temporary forms. You believe more in those appearances. You get caught up in the changing forms and conditions. Do you see it? So I want to hit this. Remember, it's not about trying to think and feel good thoughts about them. That you're going to feel like you're delusional. You're going to feel like you're in denial when you're trying to feel good and think good thoughts about conditions that you don't want, that are undesired. It's none of that. It's seeing the true nature behind them. That's the true definition of being positive, or a high degree of positivity on the scale of consciousness, as all the spiritual greats talk about. The higher up on the scale means you're more aware of your true nature as I am awareness. But when we get lost in the conditions, when we believe that in the forms, that they're solid and real and not changing, right? When we believe that they are reality versus just changing forms and conditions within the ultimate reality, then we have a lower degree of positivity, or what you call a negative experience on the degree on the scale of consciousness. So I want to hit this like we never have before. I've talked about the scale and those other things in other videos. I'm not going to hit that in detail today. I want to talk about what this really means. When the spiritual greats, such as Goddard, Murphy, Shin, Holmes, and others speak of denial, and even Jesus, the great of the greats, right? Jesus, your I am awareness. They're referring to the metaphysical denial and ignoring the unreality of those temporary conditions and forms. In all cases, when Jesus performed his healings and in the resurrection of Lazarus, he was denying the unreality of those temporary conditions and forms. Right? Remember, the only truth is that changeless reality. Because it doesn't change. It's the only reality. It's the love or the life or the isness, the absoluteness, the law, the Lord of Scripture. It's the unseen reality. That's the truth, right? Both inner thoughts and feelings and outer people, events, and circumstances are temporary forms and conditions within that I am awareness. Even the mental realm of thoughts and feelings, they're manifestations in temporary forms and conditions within the truth of who you really are, within the truth of that I am awareness, your true nature, right? Denying their power over you, right? In other words, it's really about denying their power over you. It's not about denying their appearance or denying the conditions, it's about denying their power over you. It's a real experience that you're having, but it's not reality. It's not the truth of who you are. That's what all the spiritual greats meant. Denying their power over you, ignoring the appearance. Appearances are not what they seem, right? And remember, there's oftentimes we're referring to 3D reality as an illusion, but what does illusion really mean? It means a thing that is or is likely to be wrongly perceived or interpreted by the senses. The illusion means things are just not what they seem. So 3D reality is just not what it seems. The true nature behind it is the awareness, the I am awareness. Right? It's a false belief or an idea. This is the definition from Oxford. A false belief or idea. That's the true definition of illusion. It's not a question of what's real and unreal. Everything is real in terms of ultimate reality. It's all reality. It's all God. It's all love. The question, if there is a question, it's really what's real and what's manifested. But even that distinction doesn't have to be made. Because the manifested is a temporary changing form, whether it's the inner conditions of thoughts and feelings or the outer solid conditions of people, events, and circumstances. It's all changing. It's all temporary. It's a false belief or idea of what the true nature of who you really are. When you believe in those conditions, when you believe that they are solid and are not changing. So hear that. So anything that changes is temporary can't be real. And it's only delusional to think they are real or reality. That's really what delusional means. It's delusional to think they are real or reality. They're changing. They can't be real. Right? The only reality is that I am awareness. Everything else is a changing form within that I am awareness. Right? Appearances are not what they seem. That's what that means. You're denying the power over you, the power of them over you, because they're not what they seem. You are the power behind it. You are the awareness that gives it light. You're the one that gives it life or light or reality. It's all you as I am awareness. So let's hit this a little bit more. Remember, think of it this way. All of these think of these as the changing forms of thoughts and feelings or changing people, events, and circumstances. This here, you see that? Right? They appear solid, they appear real to you as you have that experience of 3D reality. But they're just potential. They're the potential of the I am awareness. The ultimate reality is the awareness of God. Is that awareness of being. That's the only reality behind all of these temporary forms. It's all I am. Do you see it? So when we deny it, when we reject it, when we ignore it, believing that those are reality, we're ignoring ourselves, our own part of ourselves. We're ignoring or rejecting God. We're ignoring or rejecting the present moment. All that is. And so we keep perpetuating those same forms in experiences because of our resistance to them, right? Because we're trying to deny them. We're trying to ignore them. Instead, deny their power over you, those forms, those temporary appearances. That's the true sense of denial. Right? So infinity, God, all that is, the absolute, this is all of it. This is the truth behind appearances. It's I am. That's big today. Do not judge according to appearance, but judge with righteous judgment. Righteous judgment. What is Jesus saying here? Jesus is not saying ignore it or deny it or run away from it or hide from it. He's not saying any of that. He's simply saying don't judge according to appearance. Don't judge the appearance. Don't judge these 3D changing conditions in 3D reality, whether it's in the mental realm of thoughts and feelings, which is just a manifestation as well, or in the physical realm of people, events, and circumstances. They're all changing, right? You're not judging the appearance, but you're seeing and perceiving the true nature or the greater reality behind the form. That's what Jesus meant by not judge according to appearance. See the greater reality. That's righteous judgment or right judgment. seeing the I am awareness behind all temporary forms, knowing the infinite awareness and potential within it and around it. That's what that means. You're denying it of any power over you. That's what Jesus meant when he was in front of Pontius Pilate and didn't even answer Pilate at first. Right? Because I am doesn't answer to temporary forms and conditions, temporary thoughts and feelings, or temporary people, events, and circumstances. Right? It knows the truth of reality. It knows the truth of what it is. I am awareness. That's why Jesus said you could have no power over me at all, against me at all, unless it had been given to you or from above. You could have no power at all against me unless it had been given from above, unless it had been given by that I am awareness, the true substance behind it. Remember, let's look at this. I am is awareness of being. It is existence itself. It's the isness and beingness of reality. It's the only truth. It's the only reality. It's your imagination. It's your I am awareness. It's the light and the love of Scripture. It's the Lord of Scripture. It's before Abraham, I am. That's all there is. It's incontrovertible proof that you exist and will always exist. It's not able to be denied or disputed. I am can't be denied. When you say I am, no one can say no, you're not. Right? You can't even say no, you're not. I am is indisputable proof that you exist and will always exist. It can't be denied. It can't be questioned. Right? That's why when Pilate questioned Jesus, he didn't answer. I am can't be questioned. It can't be denied. Jesus knew the truth. Before Abraham, I am. Therefore, to believe anything else is to be in denial and be delusional. Do you see it? That's the answer to anyone who says you're in denial or being delusional. To believe anything else other than your true nature, as I am, is to be delusional. Right? What does delusional mean? In Oxford Dictionary, it says holding false beliefs or judgments about external reality, despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary. Well, what is that evidence to the contrary? The evidence is I am. It's the only evidence there is. Do you see it? So if you believe in anything other than I am, then you're delusional. It's not the forms, right? Wow, that's powerful. I am that I am. I am the Lord and there is no other. I am God and there is no other, right? You're holding false beliefs and judgments about external reality by believing that it's solid and it's real and that it won't change. Right? That's being delusional. There's incontrovertible evidence that I am, your awareness of being, is the only reality that you exist. Wow, that's powerful today. We're making a case for it today. Remember, what's the key? The key is accept the manifested form, those temporary forms. Not to believe in them, to know the true nature behind them. Accept it as one possibility, one quantum possibility out of an infinite number of possibilities of that I am awareness. Seeing them as temporary forms, temporary conditions, temporary appearances. Seeing the unreality of them within the one and only reality of I am awareness or consciousness. And then putting your awareness and your attention on how you would like those appearances to be. Do you see it? Imagining things as you would like them to be. Assuming things as you would like them to be. Whether it's past or present or future, seeing things as you would have liked them or would like them to be. While ignoring and denying the perceived solidity and permanency of the current manifested physical form or condition. You're denying the power that those forms have over you. You're denying their solidity or permanency. That's what you're denying. You're not denying the experience of reality. You're having that experience. You're not denying that they're not there. You're denying that the solidity, the permanency, the nature of them. Right? You know the true nature. That's why when you're reacting, when you're not accepting conditions, when you're complaining, when you're condemning, when you're criticizing, you're only creating that reality. You're only putting those conditions there. Before they call, I will answer. They were there before you complained about them. They were there before you criticized them. You put them there. Do you see it? We think that we're seeing conditions and then complaining about them. But no, you're creating them. That criticizing, that complaining was already there. You put those forms there. Those realities don't exist without your light, without your awareness. That's powerful. So whenever you're reacting, when you're not accepting, whenever you're complaining, whenever you're condemning, whenever you're criticizing, you're putting those conditions there. Do you see it? They're not there and then you're complaining about them. They're not there and then you're condemning them. They have no reality without you. You're putting them there. It's not like that objective reality exists outside of you and then you run into it. And then you start trying to ignore it and say it and start complaining about it. You put it there. That's what I mean by it's already there. You put it there before you even perceived it. Right? They're not, but they don't exist outside of your awareness. They don't exist outside of your true nature. Right? They are not ultimate reality. They're not the truth of reality. Very powerful today. Remember, it's a mirror world. Remember how a regular mirror works. When you look in the mirror, you have a reflection. And we call that unreal. And then we're on the other side of the mirror and we call that image real. We're the image on the other side of the mirror. Right? And to try to change the reflection would seem crazy to us. It would seem delusional. We would be in denial if we tried to paw at the mirror, like a kitten at the mirror. If we tried to change that. Right? We make a distinction between real and unreal here. But really, what that image is just as real. It's all reality. Do you see it? It just means you can't change that reflection there. You've got to change the image when you're looking into a regular mirror. You've got to change yourself to change the reflection. That's how a regular mirror works, and that's how the reality mirror or the dual mirror of the world works. Right? You would be delusional or in denial to believe that the reflection is real and you try to change it. That's what we mean, but it is all real. The reflection is a real reflection. And in your image, and you are real. So it's all real. It's not a question about what's real and unreal. Right? It's a question is, how do you make changes? What's the true nature behind it? The true nature is who you are. Here's how a metaphysical mirror works. The physical reality is the reflection. That's the manifested 3D conditions, the physical conditions. That manifested condition, that's the physical or solid reality that we call physical reality. And then there's the metaphysical reality, or I am awareness. That's the image here. That's the real reality. That's the only reality. But it's all real. It's all reality. The question is, where can you make changes? What is the true nature? The true nature is the I am awareness. That is a reflection. The 3D conditions are a reflection of that awareness. All of it is I am awareness. All of it, the true nature of all of it is who you are. Just like a reflection, the nature of that reflection is your image on the other side of a physical mirror. That's the true nature of that reflection. The true nature of the reflected physical manifested world is your I am awareness. Do you see that? That's what we're talking about. But trying to make change here is like trying to make change a reflection in a mirror. It's not going to work. You're not going to get there. You've got to change the image. You've got to decide who you are. That's why Jesus asked, who do you say I am? You get to decide that, right? The ultimate reality is pure awareness. It's that pure I am awareness. Even thoughts and feelings come into here because they're changeable. But this side, this is the changeless reality. This is the metaphysical reality. This is the spiritual reality. I am awareness is changeless. But you can form or take forms or manifest different changes within that awareness. You can condition that awareness with your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs and assumptions. They come into play here. And you can have a different experience of that awareness of which you are made, of that awareness from which you come. Do you see it? But it's all I am. It's all awareness. But when we start chasing our reflection, when we start chasing it and try to change it and start having strong thoughts and feelings and emotions about that reflection, we make it more solid. And we create other similar reflections that are similar to that unwanted reflection, right? It's the same. When it's a nice reflection and we have good thoughts and feelings, then we perpetuate the nice reflection. That's a good thing. But still, know the nature behind it all is you. It's your awareness, right? It's all reality. It's all real. That's not the question. The question is what's manifested and what's not. If there is a question, that's not even a question, right? What are you seeing and what's unseen? The unseen is the true nature, is the true reality. The seen is a form, a temporary condition within that screen of I am awareness. And the thoughts and the feelings and the assumptions come in here, right here, and that's what gives form or shape to those appearances. Do you see it? That's how reality is created. That's big here today. So it's not about ignoring, denying, or controlling temporary inner conditions of thoughts and feelings or outer conditions of people, events, and circumstances. But it's denying their power over you, right? It's about being greater than all conditions, all thoughts and all feelings, all people, events, and circumstances. That's what being positive really means on the scale of consciousness. It's about being more aware of your true nature as I am. It's about being greater than all those conditions. I am that I am. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are not the physical manifested conditions. You are not those temporary appearances. You are the source or the awareness in which they form. You are the source of the awareness behind all appearances. Behind all appearances, right? As Dr. Joe Dispenza says, if you can observe your thoughts and feelings, or he says something like this. This is not an exact quote from Joe, but his idea, right? Remember, he says, be greater than your environment, be greater than time, be greater than your body, right? As Dr. Joe says, if you can observe your thoughts, feelings, body, manifested conditions, and time, etc., if you can observe all that, then you must be something greater than all that. If you can observe them, then you must be something greater than them. The conceiver is always greater than the conception. The creator is always greater than the creations. God is always greater than the sun. Right? Do you see it? It's denial and delusional to believe anything else. Right? And what is that something else? That something else is your I am awareness. That's the great reality. That's the true nature. And you're only in denial and delusional to believe anything else. That's what we mean by don't give your power away to 3D conditions ever again. Instead, put your focus on, imagine and assume those appearances as you would like them to be. Even as you're walking among them, even as you're walking within them. Because it's all I am. It's all awareness of being. That's powerful. I am your host, Tom Kearin. And this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, for being part of our membership channel. We will have a new video coming out on the membership channel. We just released one about a week ago, or maybe 4 or 5 days ago. We also have a live stream planned for this month, Sunday, September 24, 2023 at 9 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time. We're going to come live to you in a live event, a live stream, right here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful in Las Vegas to answer your questions that you have been sending to me at info@besomethingwonderful.com. Keep your questions coming. I think our last live stream, and remember, this live stream is going to be exclusive on the membership channel. Our last live stream went about 55 minutes. That's available now on the membership channel if you want to view that. Creators, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin with the Be Something Wonderful studios here in Las Vegas. We'll see you soon.